Step into the mesmerizing realm where science and philosophy converge and prepare to question everything you thought you knew about our existence. In a universe filled with countless galaxies, stars, and planets, how did we come to be here, pondering our existence? Brace yourself for a mind-bending journey as we delve into the enigmatic depths of the Anthropic Principle, where the very fabric of reality intertwines with the astonishing notion that we, as conscious beings, may hold a pivotal role in the cosmic story. The Anthropic Principle, also known as the observation selection effect, is the hypothesis first proposed in 1957 by Robert Dicke that the range of possible observations that we could make about the universe is limited by the fact that observations could only happen in a universe capable of developing intelligent life in the first place. Proponents of the Anthropic Principle argue that it explains why this universe has the age and the fundamental physical constants necessary to accommodate conscious life, since if either had been different, we would not have been around to make observations. Anthropic reasoning is often used to deal with the notion that the universe seems to be finely tuned for the existence of life. Different formulations. There are many different formulations of the Anthropic Principle. Philosopher Nick Bostrom counts them at 30, but the underlying principles can be divided into weak and strong forms, depending on the types of cosmological claims they entail. The weak Anthropic Principle, WAP, as defined by Brandon Carter, states that the universe's ostensible fine-tuning is the result of selection bias, specifically survivorship bias. Most such arguments draw upon some notion of the multiverse for there to be a statistical population of universes to select from. However, a single vast universe is sufficient for most forms of the WAP that do not specifically deal with fine-tuning. Carter distinguished the WAP from the strong Anthropic Principle, SAP, which considers the universe in some sense compelled to eventually have conscious and sapient life emerge within it. A form of the latter known as the participatory Anthropic Principle, articulated by John Archibald Wheeler, suggests based on quantum mechanics that the universe, as a condition of its existence, must be observed, so implying one or more observers. Stronger yet is the final Anthropic Principle, FAP, proposed by John D. Barrow and Frank Tipler, which views the universe's structure as expressible by bits of information in such a way that information processing is inevitable and eternal. Definition and basis. The principle was formulated as a response to a series of observations that the laws of nature and parameters of the universe take on values that are consistent with conditions for life as we know it, rather than a set of values that would not be consistent with life on Earth. The Anthropic Principle states that this is a necessity because if life were impossible, no living entity would be there to observe it and thus would not be known. That is, it must be possible to observe some universe, and hence, the laws and constants of any such universe must accommodate that possibility. Anthropic coincidences. In 1961, Robert Dicke noted that the age of the universe, as seen by living observers, cannot be random. Instead, biological factors constrain the universe to be more or less in a golden age, neither too young nor too old. If the universe were 1/10 as old as its present age, there would not have been sufficient time to build up appreciable levels of metallicity, levels of elements besides hydrogen and helium, especially carbon, by nucleosynthesis. Small rocky planets did not yet exist. If the universe were 10 times older than it is, most stars would be too old to remain on the main sequence and would have turned into white dwarfs. Aside from the dimmest red dwarfs, and stable planetary systems would have already come to an end. Thus, Dicke explained the coincidence between large dimensionless numbers constructed from the constants of physics and the age of the universe, a coincidence that inspired Dirac's varying G theory. Origin. The phrase Anthropic Principle first appeared in Brandon Carter's contribution to a 1973 Krakow symposium honoring Copernicus's 500th birthday. Carter, a theoretical astrophysicist, articulated the Anthropic Principle in reaction to the Copernican Principle, which states that humans do not occupy a privileged position in the universe. Carter said, "Although our situation is not necessarily central, it is inevitably privileged to some extent." Specifically, Carter disagreed with using the Copernican Principle to justify the perfect cosmological principle, which states that all large regions and times in the universe must be statistically identical. The latter principle underlies the steady-state theory, which had recently been falsified by the 1965 discovery of cosmic microwave background radiation. This discovery was unequivocal evidence that the universe has changed radically over time. The character of anthropic reasoning. Carter chose to focus on a tautological aspect of his ideas, which resulted in much confusion. Anthropic reasoning interests scientists because of something that is only implicit in the above formal definitions, namely that we should give serious consideration to there being other universes with different values of the fundamental parameters. That is, the dimensionless physical constants and initial conditions for the Big Bang. Carter and others have argued that life as we know it would not be possible in most such universes. In other words, the universe we are in is fine-tuned to permit life. Collins and Hawking, 1973, characterized Carter's then unpublished big idea as the postulate that there is not one universe, but a whole infinite ensemble of universes with all possible initial conditions. If this is granted, the anthropic principle provides a plausible explanation for the fine-tuning of our universe. The typical universe is not fine-tuned, but given enough universes, a small fraction will be capable of supporting intelligent life. Ours must be one of these, and so the observed fine-tuning should be no cause for wonder. As we delve into the profound realm of the anthropic principle, we are confronted with a breathtaking realization. We are not mere spectators but essential participants in the cosmic drama. Every observation we make, every question we ask, and every discovery we unveil is intertwined with the very fabric of our existence. The universe, with its finely tuned constants and delicate balance, seems to have conspired to create the conditions necessary for life to flourish. If you found our video informative, kindly subscribe to our channel so you won't miss out on our videos.